Versatile Mage. Chapter 121 to the Magic City, Shanghai. Mo Fan was also helpless. Bo City was definitely not a place he could continue staying in. Who knew whether the Darkwing Wolf would come back, and the military wouldn't dispatch people to stay here forever. The only reason why a remote place like Bo City was able to develop into a city was because of the extremely special natural resources. The natural resources in front of everyone's eyes had essentially been completely plundered by the Black Vatican, and the most important resource, the underground Holy Spring, had been drunk by Mo Fan. Due to this matter, Mo Fan had been invited over to have tea several times. Yang Zue, Mu Juoyan, Zhang Kong, and the others did not investigate further into things. Either way, being able to protect the underground Holy Spring, and allow Bo City to have this many survivors, was all due to him. Mo Fan's achievements did not go unnoticed. Mo Fan, you are now a brave man who can support heaven and earth. I, your father, will listen to you. You decide where we'll go, Mo Jiaxing said to Mo Fan. Let's go to the Magic City, Shanghai. Mo Fan blurted out. The biggest city in the south was naturally the Magic City, Shanghai. When he was in the science world, Mo Fan had wanted to go to that huge city and strive for more. It could be assumed that the Magic City of Shanghai was bound to be an important city in the magical world for numerous magicians from across the country. The housing prices in Shanghai are very high. I'll go and see if Shanghai is giving our Bo City a placement house, Mo Jiaxing said. Xinxia didn't have any objections. Wherever Mo Fan went, she would go too. Not too long after, Mo Jiaxing ran back with a smile on his face as he said to Mo Fan and Xinxia, the Magic City, Shanghai, does indeed have a small safety placement for our Bo City. If there aren't any other problems, then I'll register our names on it. Leaving as soon as they could, the whole family of three quickly began to organize their belongings. In fact, there wasn't much baggage. After all, their house had already been sold. Speaking of which, Mo Jiaxing was quite capable of foreseeing matters. It was as though he had predicted the great calamity of Bo City, and thus, he didn't quite care too much about the house he had lost. The entirety of Bo City had already been taken away by the military. Who knew what Mu he was currently feeling, considering he owned several estates in Bo City. They rode a bus to the closest island of Xiamen, and then took a train from Xiamen all the way to the Magic City, Shanghai. Speaking of which, what happens if magical beasts appear on the train route? Mo Fan was sitting in the train, and suddenly had this thought pop into his head. The train route is safe, there's a barrier protecting it, Xinxia explained. Speaking of which, this should be my first time going this far from home, Mo Fan said awkwardly as he rubbed his nose. It feels like brother Mo Fan came here from a different world. There seem to be many things you don't know of, Xinxia smirked. Yeah, I came from a world of science. The schools there would not teach you this kind of dry, bitter, and boring magic. They teach you extremely interesting science theories. They use science to explain everything. It was nothing like this place. Magic for us was just a superstition, Mo Fan said with a hint of sincerity. Xinxia probably had not seen anyone talk rubbish so earnestly. She was shocked as she heard this. What nonsense are you spouting? You students who don't make progress in school are just daydreaming of this non-magical science. If it wasn't for those great people exploring magic, then your house would not have electricity, computers, or any means of transportation. There would definitely not be a gigantic train like this that requires a lightning magic diagram to operate. Damn brats who don't know how to respect history and their elders, swore an old man with black hair and a thick mustache who was sitting next to Mo Fan. After Mo Fan heard this, he didn't feel very happy. Mo Fan thought he would have adapted to this world after 3 years of living here. However, when the old man said the train used a lightning magic diagram to operate, Mo Fan began to feel like his IQ was not enough to comprehend all this. Old mister, my son likes saying bizarre things, don't take him seriously. Old mister, Are you also going to Shanghai? Mo Jiaxing was good with people. He immediately began to chat with the older man. Yes. I was doing a seminar in Xiamen. I'm currently returning to Shanghai. With regards to your manner of speaking, could it be possible that you're a professor? Mo Jiaxing continued asking. The old mister rubbed his mustache while the corner of his eye displayed a smiling expression. Dual University history professor. As Mo Jiaxing heard this, his face immediately displayed reverence. Mo Fan also looked at the old man in some surprise. Jiaotong University and Fudan University that existed in the Shanghai back in his world did not exist in this world. However, the Dual University of Shanghai was huge. It could be said that it was the magic university every magician yearned to go to. If the calamity of Bo City hadn't happened, Mo Fan would have attempted to enroll into Shanghai Dual University. The people of Bo City that were being put in these placements were all part of a project. The majority of the exam candidates were being assigned to a different high school funded by the government, to study an extra year before taking the Magic High final exam in the coming year. For Mo Fan, who had reached the intermediate level, a Magic High school had already lost its use. Now, Mo Fan only wanted to enter a magic university. A second awakening stone could be considered relatively precious. Furthermore, they were usually in the hands of schools, magic associations, the military, or noble families. Even if you wanted to buy one in the black market, you might not be able to do so. Not only could Mo Fan cast intermediate level magic of lightning and fire after reaching the intermediate stage, he had also obtained yet another opportunity to awaken. The first thing Mo Fan needed to do after reaching Shanghai was choose an organization that could awaken him a second time. The most suitable was entering a magic association. With his current cultivation, it definitely would not be a problem for him to enter a magic association. However, a magic university was also an excellent choice. After all, the Magic Association was an accomplished organization. They had magicians they wanted to nurture, special positions, and an orthodox method of distributing resources. Magic schools had always been determined to nurture others. The resources distributions were also left to those who were more capable. When the time came, he would have to ask whether Dual University did special enrollments for students. For someone like himself who was good at picking up girls, a good lightning magician, who knew if they would give him special treatment or not. Speaking of which, the person next to me is precisely a professor of Dual University. Let's ask him. Old mister, does Dual University have special recruiting? Mo Fan asked. Special recruiting. Unless you have an exceptional display in some area, then you won't be in Dual University's range. Basically, there is no such concept as special recruiting, the old professor replied. He sized up Mo Fan, who couldn't be any more common, before he asked, you want to enter Dual University? My original plan was to take the exams there. Then you should just pass through the high school exams, don't think about special recruiting. Dual University is a gathering of the most outstanding students with the highest potential from across the nation. Being able to distinguish yourself from thousands of exam candidates would make you incredibly unusual, the old professor said. Is there a special recruitment, or not? Mo Fan asked very directly. There is, of course there is. However, I don't think that it is something a normal person is able to pass. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.